congratulations, Shalin. You have busted some myths in this country in terms of when athletes in Malaysia can begin winning medals. You started very early, and also how long they can remain competitive, right? So can you share the highlights of being a bowler?
Well, thank you. Firstly, for Kat for the introduction. Yes, I think I've been bowling for about 3 decades now, about 30 years. Representing the country for about 30 years since I was 13. Yeah, I started bowling when I was 9. So over the 30 years, obviously there's a lot of like ups and downs. But among my best memories, I would say would be the oath, um, reading the oath in the '98 Commonwealth Games, because
Okay.
I think that's a really big honor given to a 10-pin bowling athlete, because we've
Mm,
never had that before.
mm,
So our sport was really excited about that opportunity.
yes.
And yeah, I've been very fortunate, yeah, thankful about that. Yeah, almost every big tournament that we go to, multi-sport games, I've come back with a medal. So yeah, I'm very fortunate and thankful for that. Is winning the in 2001, winning the World 10-pin Masters, where I competed against Storey Torgerson, a man, and I won against him
Mm,
on scratch, without any handicap or anything.
mm,
That jump started my. For me personally, the sweetest and fondest memory was in the KLC Games, where I was able to win the Masters gold, and my daughter was there to watch me win it. Yeah, and when I cried, she wiped away. She wiped my tears from
okay.
eyes. Yeah, so I
Oh,
think that.
many firsts, right? You
Yeah.
kind of like one of the youngest athletes to represent the country in any sport. You are still competitive despite pushing 40. Okay. And
What? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and you've even like gone up against the other gender and come out tops. Many would be very interested to know how do you prepare for your tournaments actually.
Well, for us bowlers, we actually train throughout the whole year, so 365 days a year. So, um, you don't really, I mean, compared to other bowlers across other countries, they don't usually train that often. Some do, some don't. Usually the Southeast Asian countries tend to be a bit kiasu and train, yeah, throughout the whole year. If you go to Europe, they have like, because a lot of the athletes there have a dual career where they work and they train, compared to us in Southeast Asia, where we just really 100% solely athletes, so we don't do anything else.
Mm,
So that's the difference there. That's why we can train throughout the whole year, and we get allowances from when any major games is coming up close to to us. We usually step out our training probably like 2 sessions a day, and on the lane. So sometimes like in total about 4 to 5 hours the
mm,
lanes. And then we have our gym sessions, which is about, I think, 1.5 hours, 2 hours.
okay.
And sometimes we have other classes like nutrition classes, mental classes, or we go for recovery sessions like physio,
Mm,
ice bath,
mm,
massages, and so on. So that's usually like our schedule like throughout the year.
mm,
Yeah, unless we have any major games that's coming up close. So we usually double up on our on lane. I used to own a few bowling centers. But in 2013, I just it just like I was kind of like tired, because I was like really going at like 200%. So I decided to just focus on being an athlete. But I've also kind of committed myself to other issues as well, like NGOs. I'm helping out with our state um, programs, junior programs, and I'm also doing some. I'm also a fellow in UPM Sports Academy, where we do certification and some courses for sports psychology for students, athletes, coaches, basically anyone who's in. I go for a lot of massages. No, I go for like massages because we work out a lot, so your body gets really sore, and like you get a lot, like sometimes lactic acid on in your muscle and so on. So you have to like let it like drain out naturally. So that's why we go for recovery sessions, because lately this past few years I've had quite a few injuries because I've been pushing myself and my body for over 30 years. It's just like a car. Sometimes when you push so much until they need probably an overhaul, or change the engine and so on. So yeah, so I've learned to take care of my body more now, especially the last few years, because I've had to undergo some surgeries on my foot, my ankle, and so on. So I tend to do more recovery sessions, like physio sessions, like I say, ice bath, cryotherapy sessions, massages, and so on. So to make sure that my body is still
Tip top.
tip top, and still be able to recover in time for the next training session and the next. Actually, it's kind of been a blessing in disguise for me, because we travel a lot. Because our tournaments are throughout the whole year. We don't have like certain sports. They have this season where they actually compete, and then they have like 2 months off, 3 months off, like during the summer, winter, and so on. But for bowling, it's like 12 months a year. So our tournaments is like throughout the whole year. So like in a month, you probably be out bowling 1 or 2 tournaments at least. So you don't get to do. Sometimes you don't get to do a lot of things. And I have a daughter, so I'm quite happy with. It's kind of a blessing for me, because I get to spend more time with her and do more stuff with her. And usually, like before, I usually have a bucket list of things that I say, okay, if I were to retire, or if I had more time, what would I want to do? Like a list. So I've been able to tick off certain items on that list. So it's kind of fun, and I've enjoyed that. I've also like taken time to reflect and to reorganize my thoughts, my training, what I'm good at, what I'm not, what things I should work on more, and so on. So this past few months have been a good time to just reflect and like reevaluate yourself and what.
Any other tournaments?
Unfortunately, bowling is not the Olympics. But we've been like in the Olympics as a demonstration sport for I think 3 or 4 times. So we won't be involved. Actually, I went to the Atlanta Olympics as part of the few selected athletes to actually bid for bowling to be in the Olympics. So that was really fun. You could see like all the Olympians, that you see on TV. Even for me as an athlete, I'm like, in awe. Right now, for us, for bowling, a lot of the major tournaments have been pushed back, as I'm sure a lot of other sports as well. So we have like our Asian Indoor Games, Asian Championships, World Juniors, SEA Games towards the end of the year. So we have quite a lot of tournaments next year. So the schedule is going to be pretty packed. But I think they might not be sending the same bowlers for all the competitions. So they have to really plan to see to make sure that none of us burn out from bowling too many tournaments. To improve the sport so that we get a chance to be in the Olympics again, because we are one of the most played sports in the world, across the world. So we're still going to keep fighting so that bowling will be in the Olympics. Well, usually like for us, what our team did was like during the lockdown, we actually work out every day as a team. In our Zoom or Skype sessions, we work out together. So our fitness instructor will be there, giving us our exercises and taking the time and so on. So I would encourage everyone to at least work out. So at least because we have to take care of our mental health as well, especially during this time, because you're locked up, you're locked down. So a lot of people get really stressed out. So exercising is one of the easiest ways for you to sweat it out and like to actually de-stress. So I think it's very good for everyone to just do something. I can see some of my friends like they are skipping, jogging, or just in the first part of the lockdown, me and my daughter would like just switch on YouTube dance videos or dance workout videos, and we would just do it and just like laugh at ourselves and how we can't dance. So yeah, it's those small things that helps you to de-stress and like to actually put things in perspective, because even if we think that we are going through hardships, there's a lot of other people out there that's in a more difficult position than us. So we have to like really sit down and just really appreciate what we have right now.
Yeah, that's a very good mindset and attitude to have. And
Yeah.
so everybody listen up. Shalin Zulkifli is saying during lockdowns, don't just sit down in front of the television, but exercise, move, even just dance is good.
You can sit down, but make sure you still move every day. Like,
Yes, yes. I founded this health blog. It's a health and wellness and beauty blog. Okay, it's called Healthiest
Okay.
Sense, because macam healthy is not enough. You just got to be healthier lah. So out of curiosity, I like to know, when you go out, how do you juggle wearing makeup and a mask?
Mask as in face mask or mask as in like beauty mask?
Face mask.
Oh, okay. But fortunately for us, bowlers, we don't use a lot of makeup. So it's not really a problem for us, but I think when you use mask, your face tends to dry up quite a lot. I don't know whether it's the same for you. So you have to like make sure. For me, I just have to make sure that I moisturize my face a lot, because I notice that like after wearing it like for a few hours or so on, but when we bowl, we don't wear masks. I find like my face gets really dry. So for me, I tend to moisturize a lot, like probably like 2 or 3 layers of moisturizer, and probably just use like, I mean, if you can use lipstick, probably not for everyone to see, but for your own self, as long as you feel good yourself.
Yes.
But depends. But make sure when you use lipstick, you're using a dark colored mask. Otherwise, you'll have a stain on your mask. Because I have one white mask that I used, and I forgot one day, and I used lipstick or lip gloss, and I had to wash the inside of the mask because I had my lipstick stuck on it.
Yeah,
so
it's happened to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for all your tips, your health tips,
You're welcome.
and also your beauty tips. Yeah, what to do when we have to wear masks. Shalin, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to turn off the recording.
You're welcome, Kat.